This CBS Sports Special, the Valvoline Detroit Grand Prix, is sponsored by Valvoline Motor Oil. People who know use Valvoline.
Sports for some 25 years in the blue shirt, about to drop the green flag on this Detroit Grand Prix, and we are away, and they break them 3-4 wide getting down here to turns 1 and 2, John.
Tremendous. Everybody finds a hole, gets in there nicely. Nobody's bumping around. It's a very good start.
You don't want to be too wide on that 1 and 2. They've had 2 or 3 big races this weekend, and there's a lot of dust offline. If you try and go too wide, ooh, someone's squeezing through there.
Rahal.
Yes, on the outside. That was a pretty nice move. I think he got the spot.
Michael Andretti leads. Go down Woodbridge here. Headed for Chrysler, which is a 90-degree turn, and then onto Congress underneath those trees. They pick up to about 140, 50, 60 miles per hour right down through this section of the course. From Bobby Rahal's viewpoint,
you can see him working with the steering wheel there. It must be very slippery. I'd say with cold tires, these guys are very, very busy right now.
90-degree turn onto Beaubien, and then it'll be a 90-degree, that quick switch back onto Leonard. Then you pull the gears and go for speed.
And you can see Danny Sullivan's giving him a pretty hard time at the moment.
Cheever in the number 15 runs in 4th. Danny Sullivan, the red and white car. Whoop, got one in trouble.
Al Jr. is off to the side there. I don't know whether he lost it or whether his car has had an engine problem. He's dead in the water. He's not able to go anywhere, and he's on the radio talking to the crew, and we can see the expletives there.
Yeah, he wants somebody to come and give him a push. Boy, I wonder what happened there. We'll perhaps have a replay of that. We may see it.
Shades.
So that gives Mike a big break.
Shades.
Pretty well impossible to make that.
That's very tough. He could, but that's, you know, it'd take a special set of circumstances.
Now here's Rahal's car. The number of Rahal, number 18. Closing right up on Rick Mears in the number 2 car. This is the battle for 5th.
Closing right up on him. Is he going to make a pass going to turn 1? Yeah.
He does. He gets down in there. That's a perfect pass.
And they've swapped it a couple of times here in the past 2 or 3 laps. Let's see what happens this time. Bobby Rahal, that Lola Chevy, cranks out about a 2-car length advantage here on one of these blind 90-degree corners.
Yeah.
Gallus Craco car just flying down Larned.
We had a car hit the wall in that area a while ago. Taro Palmroth made contact with the right rear and bent it all askew, but he was still under power driving back to the pits. But nonetheless, I'm sure he's out of the race.
Here is that incident where you see the 44 car just in front of him trying to hold the line, and Palmroth out.
Yeah, he tried to go one way and the other car blocked him, and he was already committed.
Jeff Wood out of Wichita, Kansas in another car.
9 work.
As we follow this battle among these 3, the report is that car 6 is in trouble as well out here, that Mario Andretti's car has pulled off in the turn 3 area. We're getting a report on that Mario Andretti having trouble, and there he is.
There he is. He's obviously out of harm's way, but they're talking to him. He's on the radio to the crew. Maybe they can come over and bring something. You know, it's hard to tell at this point.
The Newman Haas racing team, that Lola Chevy V8, sitting there in the turn 3 area and down. That leaves Michael up in front. There you see it coming off.
Yes, he just drove himself right out of the way.
4-time national champion, wanting to do so well here today and show up the youngsters on Father's Day, but not to be.
Yeah, we're getting word now that the engine seized. He had a bit of engine problems over there, and obviously had to pull it out of the way. So Mario Andretti is finished for the day.
Out into turn 1, keeping a pretty tight line here, just in case anyone's coming up. And there is Dean Hall into the tires.
Oh, that's a shame. That's he was out running well. I hope he's not.
Is that at turn 1?
His tires have got him. Yeah, he's coming out.
Here is the incident on Dean Hall's number 19. Looks like it's just locked up and goodbye.
Yeah.
That's not turn 1, is it?
No, that's turn 3.
Yeah, where Mario went. It's a good job Mario's car wasn't still there.
Yeah. He's all right walking away.
That's his brand new Lola. As the tanks got lighter here, John, we saw him backing up. Now he's back at full song with full tanks. He may be in a better spot than he was.
Yes, it could be that he might be.
Michael Andretti badly pulled there by that number 44 who just came out of the pits.
Jeff Wood.
Waving at him. Look, he's saying.
Really? Yeah.
Hello, Jeff.
Yes, hi. How are you?
Excuse me.
Sorry, going on. But it's
a near miss with Andretti just a moment or 2 ago on Jeff Wood.
Yes, he's making the entry into the turn, and here you see Jeff Wood sliding right out. Michael had to get on the binders, get up in the gray, and that gets really slippery.
Really slippery. He didn't appreciate it much.
Yeah. There he is, a little.
He did have time to let him know.
Little friendly wave.
The other day, for instance, Eddie Cheever, leaving the pits, realized that he was going to balk someone and almost stopped on the approach to turn 1 to let this traffic by, which, of course, you've really got to be a bit careful. It's obviously different in the race, but even so, you know, when you're joining and you're well down in the field anyway, you should really let the leader go by that.
You have the opportunity, you want to give them every courtesy you can.
70 Indianapolis car competition these days, and these guys can sure handle it as they're proving here. Look at this scramble continuing to develop for the lead.
Sullivan is putting the pressure on, and there they've managed to get by another slower car.
That's Rahal Boisel, who actually is the 8th place car going down. Lyondike next to go down, halfway coming up here. Halfway in the event, as Michael Andretti leading just as he did a year ago at halfway, or he had trouble. Well, we'll stay with you live here at Detroit for this great Indianapolis car battle.
The Raynor team, so you know we'll wait for the next one.
How's your sponsor hunt doing?
Well, Bill and our marketing people are doing a great job.
Okay, trouble on the track. Excuse me, Willie. See you next time. Back to you, Ken.
Hiro Matsushita in car number 10. The Lola Cosworth expires coming down the straightaway, coming apart and coming right to conclusion directly across from us. Car number 10, and that is part of the Dick Simon cars. He brought 3 to this race. And the young Japanese driver, first Japanese campaigner in the CART PPG IndyCar Series, trying desperately to get out of this machine.
Hooked up with his radio, hooked up.
Yeah, I don't think there was any problem there, but he didn't want to stick around to find out if there was a problem. I think it's just a little oil and some of the insulation inside under the thing that's causing the problem. The crew will get
back to Detroit. Mike Joy on pit road as Danny Sullivan now has trouble getting out of the pit. They free up an air hose and Sullivan's away. He was one of the first to pit in the first round. This time they really held him to put the pressure on Michael Andretti as long as possible for the stop, and just came in, got him out again. Little Phillip with the air hose there. Emerson Fittipaldi will be coming back to pit road. Fittipaldi has clutch trouble. He's just about run the car out of brakes. He's been having to use that clutch an awful lot to slow the car for the corners, and whipping out of the pits has just about fried it. So Fittipaldi will be headed back down the pit lane. The crew awaiting him.
Mike,
but if it is a clutch, nothing they can do. Okay?
Michael, there's a problem on car number 7. I think he's coming to a halt. I wonder if it's a half shaft. What's the problem out here?
I really don't know. He came out of the pits when he got his car started, and back in turn 1, he went through the gears, and it just suddenly started slowing down.
And it was laying sparks. It almost looks like it's collapsed. The wheels look fine from here, but
no, the right rear wheel looks like it may be askew.
It could be loose or broken.
He might have broken a half shaft or something there as he was trying to leave, and it's just bumping around.
Well, he's still in second. Now, Emerson Fittipaldi, teammate, is back on pit road. Penske team isn't having much luck at all here, and here's...
This is Michael Andretti's pit stop. Plenty of fuel and no change of tires. What a roll of the dice this is, but Andretti stalls it. And all the advantage they would have gained by not changing tires, they'll have to bring out the starter, ram it in, fire it up. Michael just about stalls it again, getting away. So, again, a great idea, but a little short on execution.
Heart stopper.
Boy, that was close.
For Michael Andretti, the leader on pit road, 22.5 seconds and back underway.
One beer and 800
Mario
straws.
will take care of all of them, you can be sure. Now you see the 9 car on pit road running 9th. Didier Tays. Didier having just a great run, and that Penske Buick stays right in the hunt. Again, the top 3 in the lead lap, Andretti, Rahal, Cheever. Andretti had trouble on pit road, but still has the advantage by about a minute over the second place man, Rahal, and all 3 leaders have been on pit road as you see the complete rundown through the field. And now 9 is in trouble and on fire.
It's on fire. He when they pulled the hose out, and I noticed when we went away from it.
Mike.
A big scatter here along pit road from the Granatelli pits. There are 55-gallon drums, water jugs, and fire extinguishers all around here, but the big problem is a methanol fire is impossible to see. There is no flame. So everyone in this area scattered. Fortunately, the fire was confined to a very, very small area and extinguished rather quickly, but a very tense moment, and the one thing that everyone along this pit lane dreads the most.
Let's take a look at exactly what happened to the Vince Granatelli team on pit road.
You can see him coming out with the hose there, and suddenly watch them all back away. There it goes. You saw it. You see the fire right there. There's the only thing you see, and DDA is hot. That's what we were talking about a while ago. That's the way you know in one of these. He is struggling fiercely to get out of that thing. They've got to get some water on him because he is wicked with fuel trying to get the fire put out. He's been obviously burned a little bit. They're taking him over for an examination, but that was a graphic situation.
And that's why these days all these crews have to wear crash helmets and fireproof overalls in the pit lane. It's a very, very good thing.
That's the gas man on the Vince Granatelli team. Looks like he may have got some burns down around his.
Yes, and it's
17th year for Pancho Carter in competition, and this is going to be a great finish for him. Of course, he also came out with a pretty good start this year with an 8th down there in Phoenix.
Scotty Brayton is on fire. He has a fire on the right side of his car. He's got the speed up. It's going to eat a hole in the bodywork, I'm sure, and he's headed around, I hope, to the pits. But that car has a fire raging under the engine cover on the right rear side.
Let's hope he knows.
7th place car, Brayton, one of the Dick Simon cars.
He is heading to the pits. He's coming in now. There he's obviously someone radioed and told him.
Now, funnily enough, we'd had a report right at the beginning of the race that Scott Brayton's car was smoking, and he's gone all this way without any problems at all, and now something has in fact ignited under there.
Well, they've tried to put...
They're going to have to stop and have a look and see what
Yeah,
it is.
they tried to put the fire out. He wants to keep going because it'll be a good finish for him. You know, and they're hungry. That team is hungry for a good finish. They've had some problems. He's not getting it going like he wants to.
Down to the
If he just sits out there and twiddles around, he might be able to hold his position and not lose any spots.
And there we see the 22, and it's still on fire.
Still on fire, raging again. They've got a real serious problem.
That seemed pretty unwise to me to just throw that water on and then drive out without at least looking to see what it is.
There's a cause for that, and it could be a broken exhaust header that's causing the problem. It sounded a little off key when he went by here and by us.
Hanging around, and there's the fire in the tunnel.
Yes, now look at that. See the car blazing now. He's really got to get in and
show him.
I'd say he needs to tend to that.
Well, he's had a win in each of the last 4 years, and sure would like to keep that record going. There's the crew going to work on Brayton's car number 22.
He's coming out of the car, it appears. It must be getting warm inside. I would think that he needs to pay attention to that and do whatever it takes to be safe. Bobby Rahal. Michael closed in very tight behind him.
Rahal running in second. Michael about to put him a lap down and finish this race in a lap unto himself. Here they are through those final 2 corners, 16 and 17.
Look at, from Rahal's car, it's Michael Andretti. One more lap.
White flag is extended. They flop the flag for the final time. It is Michael Andretti closing up on Rahal to just dust off the entire field. This has been some impressive race for Michael Andretti. It's been the biggest advantage anyone has enjoyed this year. Michael Andretti storming around this 2.5 miles, 17-turn track at a record speed. New record being established for the Detroit Grand Prix by the young man from Nazareth, Pennsylvania, 28 years of age, whose dad is going to stay here and sponsor a party for the crew workers all around this racetrack. This kind of man Mario is. World champion, Indy champion, Daytona champion, but Mario is, I think that's what's so neat about the Andrettis. They're people's people.
I think here we're seeing a little discretion is the better part of valor. I think Michael could have put a lap on the entire field if he had wanted to be a little macho. But it looked like he pulled up behind Bobby Rahal and said, no, I'm going to settle down and just be happy to win this thing and not worry about being a lap on the field.
Bobby's saying, oh, didn't see you there.
Well, it looks like he's also going to get revenge for that Milwaukee finish when he had the race won. Just absolutely his, no question about it. And then boom, 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 out of fuel. A couple of laps to go. That was disastrous at Milwaukee. And Michael right now is on his way. Looks like he is clearing out everybody in the last moments except one man for this victory around the Rahal car, getting set for the finish. Give it all to Michael Andretti this afternoon. Gets them all. Boy, he has done a job.
There it is.
The finish. Michael Andretti by nearly a lap. Only one other car in the lead lap. Cheever finishing third, a lap down. Mears fourth. Lyondike fifth. Boisel in sixth. He was 2 laps down. Emerson Fittipaldi will get 7th. Scott Goodyear 8th. That's Michael's 10th career win. 20th win for the Newman Haas team. And 17 with Mario. The last 3 with Michael.
Paul Newman here to see it, so he'll be pretty happy about that.